Hey everyone, just Raw here. I'm giving you my my anime review of Shokugeki no Soma Food Wars, the third dish, episode 9, Hunting the Survivors. And starting off the episode, we get a bit of a small flashback, or at least let's say before the events of let me start again. We start the episode off with a before moment of when the evacuation squad realized that Izan lost to Shokugeki. Like everything was like everyone was in scramble in the dormitory. Basically, every resident was scrambling all over the place to prevent their dormitory from letting out and getting in. Eventually, at the time when they managed to defend the evacuation squad got board, and basically Marie managed to saw the TV, and saw that Izan lost to Soma by a 3-0 vote in favor of Soma. Everyone of the residents were shocked by that event, and then even both our Hisako was surprised, was actually mostly relieved the fact that Soma won, thinking that he knew some way or other Soma would win. And Aaron was looking at it with a look for her faces like, yeah, apparently she knew something she didn't expect that. And for those of you who was wondering what I was holding this pen for, during this, I'll get to, but I had to write some names down here because apparently when I get to these characters, I most likely will forget how you pronounce these names. And I think that one of them, their first name, might be one name that I might mispronounce, but so we'll get to that after we get through with this. Then someone comes down here. First, I was thinking we shot up there, sort of looking at like backing away for a second, and letting someone go through, like I saw in the manga. Apparently, no, they just left. Someone just walked right through, and right for everyone, apparently all their eyes were gone for a second there. Until someone came back and said, I'm back. And next thing you know, Yuki, she just comes at him, like charging at him, saying, you idiot! And everyone, despite the fact that someone made one to get him to save the dormitory, they're so mad at the fact that he went off on his own again, just him so reckless again. And these guys had to sit back and had to wait for anything went wrong. I did the first time when someone basically dragged Megami into a Shokugeki with Shinomiya-senpai. And now this is the second time he did that to them. This time for a much more bigger set that could affect everyone. But they're all relieved the fact that they still managed to win. That Soma still won. The dormitory is safe thanks to both Soma and Shokugeki win, and the fact that everybody else saved the dormitory. And so the scene where everyone was congratulating what was going on. There was a scene where someone complained like, "What's the wet? Why is the ground wet? Why are all wearing helmets? What's going on here?" And everyone's explaining like, "We just did all this." And then we kick off to the celebration. We see the Aldini brothers make into appearance, claiming the fact that we're going to see a scene where Takumi was basically going to go doing a nag leg stream mode, but even he realized that if your house was threatened, most likely Takumi would do the same thing. And both Yuki, Matt, actually every other resident realizes he knows the same way. Also, want to think about they also at the universe managed to see both Aina and Hisako there. It looks like she actually is staying in the dormitory. They thought it was just a rumor, but it turns out that was true. At least they asked the other students that rumors swore in the fact that she was going to hide in the dormitory, but instead she hides. But instead, that's actually trying to be true. And then Ishiki-senpai comes into the room. Before we move forward to that point, I want to point out there's also a bit of a small flashback that Rindo-senpai had when she had a conversation with Ishiki. And it turns out, despite that Ishiki was still doing all his paperwork, she said, shouldn't be worried about your dormitory being crushed down because Izan's doing this, he's going to destroy the dormitory. And Ishiki was like, I don't think the dormitory is going to be destroyed. He knew the fact that he got word that Soma challenged him in Shokugeki, thinking the fact that believing in Soma that he was going to win. And it turns out that turned out the same way how it did. And everything, like Ishiki pointed out that the dormitory is not going to go down. Someone's going to win, and eventually ended up that way. Someone won the Shokugeki, and the dormitory is not going to get shut down and not be demolished. So everything fell right into exactly what Ishiki has said. Then Ishiki shows up. Everyone's surprised to see him, even though like he was gone for a bit. Then they all nagged on the fact that you were a Elite 10 member, but yet you did not do anything to stop Izan from doing this dormitory. They call him out, and he tearfully, I love this dormitory. I love the students. I love the moments we have here. And they all basically forgave, and they all went to celebration. Now they all had a celebration. And Mike was right when they were about to start cheering, saying, yeah, it's celebration time. added him for the split second like Superman. Ishii just went from his regular clothing to the naked apron skin that he was known for. And right in front of Naki, Aina, and Hisako, they were all shocked about this is the naked apron. This is what they were doing. And claiming that the dormitory is weird and it's bizarre. But yet everybody else finds it completely normal. Even the Aldini brothers got used to that. Like, it's not even the first time seeing it. It even still packs it. It still leaves a major impact. But when the Aldini brothers saw that first time when they were invited to the dormitory after they made to the honor elections, to the finals of the honor elections, they were a bit confused at first, but they're like him looking up and down, because, that's Ishiki's like naked. The whole thing is covered in the apron. They can't start looking at his eyes, but they can't keep looking down. Not at the crotch area, but you know what I'm also looking at. But if you don't want to get into the context of these words, you know where we're pointing at. But they got used to it. But seeing Aina and Hisako's reaction to it, was basically the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in this episode. And then at least had a moment where like calling not only the fact that these sorts was strange and bizarre. There was a little moment where Aina told Hisako, "Do you know how to work a washing machine?" Yeah, of course I do. It's very easy. Apparently, complaining that then going from everything mostly done for her, like the laundry and all that stuff, is mostly done for her. But in here, she had to do that herself. She had to learn from the perspective, like a first world moving into a second world thing. Like from a first world perspective, moving to a third world perspective. And then, or at least second world, at least, I want to be a little more somber, a little more sober with my words here. But she still claims that these students are basically the two had a moment here behind them. Then Ishiki comes in and come and join us and selfishly, please put some clothes on. Ishiki senpai, but yeah, so neat. I think I might mess up somewhere, but I think I was about to say was that moment alone shows the fact that this is the dormitory that she can find at least some comfort in, at least in a way, making her like a pseudo resident. She's not a permanent resident. I could honestly say the fact that by this point in the story, at least in terms of the manga right now, in the anime, she is at least by the components of the anime, she's still currently a hiding member. She's still hiding in the dormitory, as this is her safe ground for her hiding place. But as for the story progresses, I can honestly say full-heartedly that she's a pseudo member of pseudo resident of the dormitory, at least for a small bit until she actually makes a grand announcement that she's going to move in. But in terms of the manga right now, which we'll have to see until towards her Shokugeki when that comes down, we'll have to wait and see. And then several days later, we get a scene between Ishiki and Asami. And Asami announced about to Ishiki that you'll lose your seat in the Elite 10, along with both Mikishima and Kengo senpai and Kuda senpai. And Tenorori senpai. So I think Kuga senpai. That's his name. I just messed up the name. Never got. I think it's something else with the K, but no, it's Kuga senpai. And ECU is basically not surprised at all. He's like, expecting this because we were the only 3 students that didn't agree to your change. So eventually, we're going to get our seats taken out from us regardless. We accepted that. We were expecting that. It was just happening a lot more quicker than he was expecting. Then he looks at the fact that all the other students, all the other members of the Elite 10 were okay with it. Well, Rindo senpai was the only one who protested. Those of being part of the voting, she protested the fact that why did these guys have to lose their seats just because they didn't vote with us. So these 3 vacant spots open, but Erina still having her seat. Aren't going to care Erina for not being part of your regime. But eventually, not Erina will eventually come to my side. And I was thinking at some point, I don't know for a fact at some point Azumi is going to go she's going to go find her. But that's going to be until 2 more episodes into this, because after that was done, there was a smell. After that scene was done, we get to a meeting between the Elite 10, showing the fact that they're explaining that all the RS are going to have to go through the same thing with the Ishiki rules, that if your research society is being on the verge of being shut down by Central, you have the right to fight against that against some Central students, basically some members of the Elite 10 or hand-picked soldiers from Central, and it could be in a Shokugeki, and if you win, you manage to keep your RS. This time, no more fixed matches. Kuni senpai was able to quickly bash on Izan for doing the fixed session because he was completely against that. And Mom was real saying the fact that with the annoyed look on her face that oh, this is so annoying. She's playing with her stuffed bear. I'll get to the bear in a second there because there's this one scene I was like not expecting that, but I didn't think I remember seeing that in the manga. But apparently, this in the anime, he made it a lot more grandiose in a way. She was complaining about that, and then also eventually all the central students decided to go off and decide time for the hunt, which hence to hunting for the survivors. Because this is their time. This is the continuation of the purge, or at least day one of the purge, when all our arrests are going to be going to be shut down, but the Shokugeki are going to be at the same time. And then we're leading to one little shot between one of the soldiers, which I have his name right down here, but his full introduction we'll wait till much later. As we're going to see the match between both Izan and Momo-senpai. Izan-senpai and Momo-senpai. And during Momo-senpai, this is what Saki right here about the bear. That apparently, since her main dish is, she's mostly known for pastry dishes. Apparently for oven mitts, she decided to pull the paws off the bear, and the bear had an angry look on his face, an angry expression on his face. Actually rips them off. Actually rips them off. In the background, behind her, there's falling, sparkling lights coming down from her, with very much like music meant for a magical series. And she puts them oven mitts. She puts those paws as mitts on, as oven mitts, and that just screamed like I'm just looking at that scene like. That's just seriously. I was expecting the music. Apparently, it had very similar to a Magical Girls series, but in fact, that Momo's basically supposed to be the youngest. Let's compare it to size-wise. She is the smallest. She also looks one of the most, if not the cutest one, because of her size and her age. But if you get to how she talks, it completely contradicts that. The fact that I've seen that scene compared to what her voice really sounds like, looks where her personality is, it just screams contradiction, but it seemed to fit for her in a way. For someone who specializes in pastry dishes, it fits. And then we can move on to scene. And when I saw the results from 0 to 3, I kept looking at every member who lost. I just kept saying squash, 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 and squash 4 times because 4 Shokugeki were happening at the same time, and they all lost. And then we're leading to the soldiers here, apparently. One of the soldiers here with the guy. Okay, now the coloring scheme for this guy, he has wavy blonde hair. He has a bit a face tattoo right on his left side of the eye. He has 2 piercings on his right, 2 piercings right on the right eyebrow. And he has a long piercing on his left ear, and the cross is upside down. I was afraid that character might be intransigent. If anyone finds offensive to that, because the upside down cross, because that's the sign of the Antichrist. But again, I'm not sure anyone too familiar. I might point out on that one. At first, I was a little bit surprised by that, but you know what? At some point, it's kind of if his own style. I'm gonna ignore it. But he makes the most you all bow down before us, as we are the Social Central. Then Soma and Takumi, who were there watching the Shokugeki, ended up saying, I don't know how they managed to get down there from the balcony. From that floor balcony all the way down to the main floor in an instant, and says, nope, we're not bound down to you. Even Megami, who was there, who saw that, was basically just, wait, how did they? Soma, who you're doing this again, and now Takumi's not even holding him back, he's actually going forward with this. And right when Mento was about to give them a complete earful to a point where it was you know what, we're going to challenge you instead, this big, huge guy in his green cooking outfit just spins him around and grabs him with one arm and pulls him back. And then we're going to full introduction to these 2 characters, and the 2 female characters are introduced. And I have their names right here in this piece of paper right here. And ignore the fact that this page is really, I actually did write a page issue down here years ago. I forgot when, but either way. I have the names of the high school students right here. And I'm mispronouncing one of these characters' names, but here we go. They're all second-year high school students. So the first one I got the full introduction was Kume Shigemichi. He's that big, huge, bulky guy with the green outfit. And in the opening, Megami is going to challenge him and Shokugeki to save her rich society. The second one to get that is Kusono Noki Rentaro. He's the guy I was referring to with the red. He's wearing red and black cooking outfit. He has the piercings I just told you about, the face tattoo, and the wavy blonde hair. And he's the one that Kuriki that Ryo is going to be facing in Shokugeki, which in the opening and apparently in the end of the episode, we're going to see the first match between some of the rebels, the unannounced rebels, and the Central Soldiers, Ryo versus Rentaro. In the battle between basically a loud boast cooking for chef versus like another side, a berserker cook. Now to the two male ones, down to two female members. This one's wearing pink. She's wearing pink. She that does this with her mouth like kind of like this. Every time she talks was Yane Mie. She's the one who's wearing all pink. The outfit's pink and a little bit of some purple in there. Her hair is like basically like pinkish colors. Here I'm not sure what kind of color scheme they're going for, but apparently like almost resembling like close to pink. And the last one was Kofuru Rui. She's one of this so far hasn't had a voice yet, but she's basically one. She's like quiet one, but definitely knows that her skills completely unnatural. She's handpicked for soldier from Central for a reason. We don't know exactly about her cooking. We don't know all about this cooking about this, but they were just handpicked, so they were picked for a reason. But the fourth member, I do remember seeing her in the manga, but in the opening for this season, they did not even mention her who she was facing. All we got was Rentaro, Shigemichi, and Mie fighting against Ryo, Megami, and Nikimi, and so far in the battle against the Central Soldiers. And apparently, for some reason, when both Soma and Takumi realized that Alice and Ryo were going to come introduced, we're moving to the stadium. Turns out they're going to be challenged by Shokugeki. And apparently, at some point years ago, Alice challenged one of the High Society Research Society, the Elite Research Society, and managed to win easily. It was the current, and she eventually became the leader of that research society completely on paper though, but completely did not know that until then they realized that they were going to be dismantled by Central. There was a flash when Rento laid a challenge to them, then Ryo saying riffraff, he took offense to riffraff, got in his berserker mode already like in an instant and just basically challenged Ryo, and Alice had no choice but to also accept the challenge as well. For the sake of saving the research society that these two have. So in the next episode is basically Dancing with the Salmon. Salmon's going to be the main topic, so we're going to see Ryo versus Rentaro, which I'm most looking forward to seeing how these two. I was like looking this matchup between the two, so like basically a match made in heaven because both still in personalities, and they actually have the longest scene between the three in the opening, whereas like Rento had like a fireball in his hand, and Ryo had the knife, and they all just clashed each other, while the other two, Megami and Nikimi, and Megami had the other two, Shigemichi and Mie, just staring at each other down. So I can't wait to see this match goes down next week. So that was the end of basically the episode. Now it's just like the fallout. This is the celebration that Dorntype was saved. Each getting his seat taken down, and eventually into the hunting for the survivals, the purge in a way. And it's against Ryo versus Rentaro in the first battle between the unannounced rebels versus the Central Soldiers. Overall, it's a very good episode. This time, no fan service this time around. We got to see the introduction of these four soldiers and seeing how they don't like do much of the story moving forward, but for now they become like a threat. So until next week, leave a like, subscribe, comment on the show as a friend, and I'll see you again next time for the next video and for the next Food Wars episode video. Laters.